Hi, Sean. How are you? Woo. Hi. There's my friend from New York, the Russian clown. Hello, Xander. How are you? We're just going to let a few people join before we get started. Hi, Sean. Woo. I'm going to go ahead and start. Hi, Ori. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a ferocious man-eating plant. Woo! Hi! Oh my God, I'm so hungry. Oh, help! Technical difficulties. I forgot how things work here in the man-eating plant, but just so you know, I'm starving myself to death. I'm on the keto, and it's working really well. I've lost lots of weight, and there'll be a big reveal. Soon you'll all know how many pounds I've eaten of my own flesh. So I wanted to be a flesh-eating plant. So yes, I'm on the ketosis, which means my body is slowly dissolving my fat and using it as energy to burn. And so today, I am in the guise of a flesh-eating carnivorous plant. And you are welcome to watch as I devour things in the world. Are you ready for the first devouring? Kenneth, bring forward the con man! Fireman Kinney is preparing himself for his sacred duty. Woo! You all remember him, don't you? Yes, yes. Oops, I hurt my chin. Ow. Ow. That nasty man hurt my chin. But that's what happens sometimes with despots. Sometimes you have to make a little flesh offering to really get rid of them. Today, when I was trying to make my man-eating plant, I bled all over it. So some of the blood color is my actual blood. So this is blood magic. The deepest, darkest, most intense kind of magic, because I smeared my blood on this great masterpiece, this work of art, this carnivorous plant. And so I had a really rough week. I was really angry all week, and I was totally stalled about what this show could be this week because I was so angry. I was so fucking mad. And I said to my friend Megan, what should I do for the show? And she looked at me very calmly and said, what about horses? And I went, Megan, I just did horses. I just did horses like 2 episodes ago. I can't do horses again. She said, well, what about gold? And I'm like, Megan, I already did gold, and the golden temple of Trump West is falling apart behind me. I can't do gold again. She thought again, and she said, well, what about golden horses? And I'm like, Megan, close your eyes, concentrate. I need your help. Because Megan's a techno witch. Megan is a techno witch, so I rely on her for advice from time to time. And she saved my ass this week on my day job. Another side note, if you need a social media strategist, check out Megan Trainor. She's fucking awesome. So anyway, she saved my butt at work. And then I said, okay, close your eyes. You're a techno witch. I know you can do this. And what comes into your mind? What comes into your mind when you think about what I should do for my show? And she said, gardening. And I said, no! No, I'm way too angry to be a garden! To garden? No! No, I want to destroy things. I want to smash things. And then I sat with it. And I realized there are many kinds of gardens, including carnivorous. Ooh, there's a thought. Different kinds of gardens and different kinds of plants. And so I thought, I'm going to be a man-eating plant. And let's open that up a little. Let's call it a person-eating plant. Because I want everyone to feel like they have the opportunity to be eaten by plants. Because who wrote in stone that everything has to be man-eaten? Man-eating tiger, man-eating Venus flytraps, you know? Like, is that really fair? It's gendered, it's binary, and it's patriarchal in a weird way. So, person-eating plant. I am a person-eating plant. And if you are a person of any gender, I'd be happy to eat you. So, without further ado, my screen went dark. Fireman Kenny, will you come look at my screen? I don't know why it did that. Touch it. Touch my screen, Fireman Kenny. Okay, it's back. It might just be fading out. So here's an interesting side note. When my screen faded, it went to like 99% black, but not entirely. And the image on my screen with just like 1% of visual information presenting really looked like the logo from my old coffee shop, the Coffee Messiah, because I had this logo that had this, it was kind of like the Virgin Mary meets Jesus face, and I had these like rays around it. So just side note, this also references my earlier work. So if you're around in the 90s, maybe you remember some of my earlier work at the Coffee Messiah, which this current work actually harkens back to a simpler, younger me, when I was willing to make mistakes and make a fool of myself in public before all the gravitas set in. So, I'm digressing terribly. I'm all over the place. My mind is a whirl and a spin and a mess. Kenneth, speaking of Coffee Messiah, bring forward the bricks of destruction, i.e. the top ramen. Put a brick of destruction in my hand. Thank you. This is a brick of destruction, also known as top ramen, except we got the cheap stuff from the neighborhood store, so it's not actually top. It's probably more like bottom shelf ramen, and so, or maybe middle shelf, but you know, who's counting? But I want to give an homage to my old friend Ricky Rebel, who is very famous for exploding top ramen on his face. Oh, look, I'm bleeding. Oh, this really is a blood sacrifice. Be careful what you say out loud when you're in the middle of a witch's ceremony. So, bring forward another. This is my way of relieving my anger issues this week. Top ramen, because I'm on keto. And that's another reason I'm angry. I hit a keto wall where I just really, really want to eat all kinds of things that I'm not supposed to. And instead of eating them, oh my God, no, seriously? You have no idea how good this smells. I mean, oh my God. Oh. Would it be going too far to lick it? It probably would, huh? That would count as a carb. No. Would a lick wouldn't be, a lick wouldn't hurt, right? No. I don't want to do that. I just want to rub it on my face. Yes, I love keto. I love keto. Oh, no, but like I'm really craving cookies. Can we just talk? I want a cookie so fucking bad. I want to here's my trigger. Bakery and Nouveau on 15th Street in Capitol Hill has like the best bread, the best croissants. Their scones aren't so good, but everything else is epic. And so I drove by there like 3 days ago, and it started a keto spiral because they have social distancing lines out the door, like half a block long. And I'm like, look at all those people. They look so happy in line for their carbs. And I got really triggered, and I can't stop thinking about how at 2:30 in the afternoon, I used to go into there when I'd be on the way to the bank or on the way to Safeway, and I would get a cookie and a little 8-ounce coffee, and that was all I needed to put a smile on my face and make it through the rest of the day. And I can't do that anymore. I can't. But are you ready for the big reveal? It's been a month on keto. It's been a month. 30 days or so, or 28 days. I think it's 28 days tonight. Because didn't I start on Friday?
Can't remember.
I think I started, because I was at 292. Woo! And that's part of why I started, because I got really freaked out because I didn't want to weigh 300 pounds. And so my brain went, no, stop, there's an edge, don't cross that edge. There lies oblivion for you personally. No shame for anybody else, but for me, I was smoking pot earlier, so it's not the COVID, but I do have a little bit of a scratch because I didn't have enough water and I'm stuck. Okay, so I'm wearing my Fitbit on my wrist, and I can't get my hand through the hole. Kenny, would you remove my? Oh, and I broke I broke the bottom. Would you remove my Fitbit, because I don't think I can get my hand through. Yeah, it's on my wrist. Thank you, Fireman Kenny. Fireman Kenny likes to come to my rescue. Oh, he's so handsome. I feel so blessed to have a fireman on call for all of my safety needs. It still won't fit. Who designed this thing? Why didn't we have a tech rehearsal? Okay. Okay, now this is the other hard one.
Do you need further assistance?
Yes, hold the board. Oh, there, got it. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Hi, everyone. Okay, so now comes the erotic part of the show. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. I lost 32 pounds on keto. And if you go back 4 episodes ago, you can see my belly is quite different. I lost 30 pounds. 32, or I'm at, I can't remember the numbers. 31 or 32 pounds. And so now the erotic part of the show. My carb.
I'd also like to point out you're bleeding on the ramen too.
Oh, oops. Oops, that's not cute.
This is like Silence of the Lambs.
Right? Oh. Yeah, okay, hold on. This is off camera, so yeah. So, yeah, I recommend the keto. Okay. And when you need it, there is no shame in giving yourself a ramen bath. There is no shame. There's no shame in rubbing carbs on your body. I refuse. No, you don't get to shame me. You don't get to say I'm wrong. Nope. You know what I'm finding? I didn't think this ahead of time. They heat up with your body heat and your sweat. And they smell good even on their own, but with the combination of your sweat, which is kind of like the little flavor packet, and the heat of your body, yeah, it's pretty appealing. So thank you for coming. I'm gonna put on my shirt. You know how we do it here. Put on my shirt. For those of you that have never watched before, we're here at Trump Palace West, which is an art installation I designed to deteriorate. So the first show was a golden glimmering palace lit by firelight. And slowly the dirty underside is being revealed. And so here we are. Oh, that's the Trumptanic behind me, which was an episode you missed or you saw, but we've got some catching up to do. They're all on the YouTube now as well, thanks to Northwest Live Arts streaming. So without further ado, okay, we've got our usuals. They're getting kind of boring now. Oops. We've got Marla Maples in the background, and we have Moldy Jesus. And so they're there doing their thing. And time to call our ancestors in. And so we have Rich. Okay, I confess, I totally had Jesus fantasies as a child. I was that kid. Although I grew up Mormon, so we didn't have a lot of crucified Jesus, but so he was like taboo, like because they don't do the crucified Jesus so much, or the cross. They're trying to be different. So when I did see a crucified Jesus, I was like, that's hot. He's almost naked, and he's taboo because Mormons don't do it that way. And so I had a lot of conflicting feelings as a child about sex and religion. Look at me now, picture of health. Ooh. We're giving Rich his poppers, because in life and in death, that was his favorite thing. And so we invite all of our ancestors to join in and inform our conversation. And so, Kenneth, would you please bring forward the box of divination? Divination. Thank you, Kenneth.
You're welcome.
Now, without looking, I will divine our collective future. Ow. I think I just poked my finger to the point that it's bleeding.
You're bleeding all over the place.
Ugh, left and right. Oh, you're gonna play around with Audrey too. Kenneth, will you please read the button of divination?
You gotta move your bottom finger.
Oh.
There will be discharge, sunshine, and rain.
Ooh! I wonder if blood counts as discharge, because if so, we've got that handled. There will be discharge, sunshine, and rain. That's your quote for you to think about tonight while we do the work. There will be discharge, sunshine, and rain. There will be discharge, sunshine, and rain. I haven't discharged in a long time, but that's a side note. We don't need to. But no, I was like, I'm this far in, I might as well just go all out celibate. I know. Let's pull out the dead dog. So Fireman Kenny's gonna go get the dead dog, and we're gonna bury him here in this big pot I have. And so prepare yourselves. There's something coming. Decomposing, recomposing, down, down. Decomposing, recomposing, down, down. So, I was at the Goodwill bins where everything is 99 cents a pound. And it's a big, crazy room filled with a lot of crazy people and a lot of junk. And everybody's digging through the junk looking for things of value. And I find this box. And this box says, R.I.P. And then it's got dates at the bottom, which say July 13th, 1983 to September 15th, 2000. And so I convinced myself I assumed, based on the size and the weight, I knew it wasn't actually a person, but I decided it must have been a kind of memorial to a lost pet, that somebody had taken the box and put their departed animal's ashes in it. And so I've had this box for like 5 years, and I was like, someday I'm going to do something with it, and I don't know what. And when I was prepping for this show and the gardening, because this is a show about gardening, we will get there. It's just, sometimes you got to take some turns and some go-abouts. So I was like in that, and I thought, oh, time to open the box. And I opened the box. No dog. No fucking dog. I had convinced myself for 5 years that I had a box with a dead dog. Not dog. I assumed it was cremated based on the weight. No, there's nothing in it but some fucking artist piece of paper. Some artist making art. I thought I had a dead dog. No, it's art. So, without further ado, from 20 years ago, somebody wrote this and put it in a box and marked it R.I.P. My navy white hat. My hat was born 13th July 1983 in San Diego. It bore many children over the years. I don't know what that means, but okay. His hat bore many children. I saw many days and nights come and go while on watch. I'm assuming that's literal. I'm thinking he was in the Navy in San Diego and he wore his little white hat and probably got more little white hats. But so maybe the whole white hat thing is a metaphor for being in the Navy. I saw many days and nights come and go while on watch. On many countless nights of in sobriety, but it's one. Is that one word? I know sobriety. In sobriety.
So it'd be like not sober.
So not sober.
Right.
How do I not know that word? I feel like I should know that word. I thought
Incompetent.
I'm incompetent. In sobriety. Oh, God, I feel like Donald Trump. Ugh. Insobriety and poor judgment. Many countless nights of insobriety and poor judgment. I saw the Beirut conflict, the hijacking of the Achille Laurel cruise liner and the TWA airliner. I saw Saddam Hussein conquered and get his ass handed to him too. And now it's seeing its owner pass from the lower ranks of E6 to CPO. As its mortal owners have come in ashes and dust, so this white hat from the earth to make the cotton to hold the seams, now it returns to where it came from. Goodbye, white hat, fair winds and following seas. Amen. So, and I sincerely honor him for that threshold marker. That's one of the things in our world that we've lost sight of, is supporting each other at threshold moments. And in the old ways, in a variety of ways, we had ceremonies and rituals to support people at different stages of life. And we've lost track of most all of that. And it's been replaced with capitalism and sports, which is a vain, not subtle attempt at supplying a kind of ritualized
communal experience. And so I think this is so beautiful, and I was so surprised to find it. And I'm a little sad to bury it, but I do think it's important for me to bury it, to put this one to rest. But I just wanted to, I was so surprised and happy to find this today. And so that's going to go. You can't see it. Well, I guess you can if I do this. Oh, I'll move the camera later. There's a big thing to put dirt in right below me. I'll move that later. Kenny, would you bring forward the brown-eyed Susans? Ah! Things are falling. We do have a special single chair for an audience member here in my backyard. And so we have, Paul is here as my studio audience. And so if anybody out there wants to come be in the studio audience, it's an option. I'm just saying. Okay, brown-eyed Susans are coming in. Thank you, Fireman Kenny. Okay. So I have a special relationship with brown-eyed Susans. I love them. They're one of here. I shall hold them lovingly, since this is a show about gardening. It's one of my favorite flowers, and I used to have a bunch of them at my house in South Park, and they would sort of reseed themselves and come back every year. And yeah, so I've loved brown-eyed Susans for a long time. Oh, look, I look like a magical flower being. I almost was going to be a brown-eyed Susan today. That was my first impulse, was to be, an Ann Geddes-esque sunflower face looking at you all. But then I decided that I really wanted to be a person-eating plant, and so I went the Audrey direction. So anyway, I digress. Brown-eyed Susans, and the first time I went back to the reservation, I was about 35, and I had gone on this epic trip to Peru, and I was in Peru for almost a month, and I was up in the Amazon basin with an elder and a group of people for like 3 weeks or 2.5 weeks, and we were doing medicine work out in the middle of nowhere, and it was really amazing and super fucking challenging. And then I was in Iquitos, Peru, and people we were with were stunned that I had never seen a stripper, and so they took me to my first stripper experience in the middle of this like weird jungle town on the Amazon River, this town. And we met this crazy little guy who was like all hopped up, and he was like, "What do you need? What do you need? I can get it. I can get it. You want cocaine? I can get you cocaine. What do you need? What do you need? What do you..." And we didn't really need anything else, but he was offering. He was offering. And so he like wanted to be our tour guide, and we're like, no, we're good. We're good. But he was like the doorman or something, or hung out at the strip club looking for tourists to be their tour guide, I guess. So we had this weird trip, weird, intense, magical, amazing, about a pufferfish thing, bizarre scene, never been anywhere that exotic in my life, and mixed in with like more than 2 weeks just up in the raw jungle out in the middle of nowhere, doing medicine work. And then we went down to the Sacred Valley with a different elder, and we're hanging out in the Sacred Valley around Cusco and Hoyo Caliente, the town right below Machu Picchu, which is like sort of the landing spot before you go up to Machu Picchu. So I had this totally amazing trip. And then I landed in Phoenix. I went to see my mom, who I hadn't seen. We hadn't talked in like 5 years because she had kind of pulled back and decided she wasn't going to talk to me anymore. And so I made every effort to track her down, and she went to the casino and to avoid me. And so I was like, okay, there we go. And mom's at the casino, doesn't want to see me. And not because I did anything bad. She just was like that. And, you know, narcissism, it's a rough road. Yeah. So mom was a narcissist and crazy and a compulsive gambler. So she was busy spending her millions, which she did successfully. You'll be happy to know mom was able to blow all of her money and my trust fund, and all of it, every dime gone right when she died. So it all worked out. She did what she wanted to do. So I was there with my mom. She wouldn't talk to me, so I left. And I knew the next part of my trip was to go to White Mountain. I am getting back to the Brown-Eyed Susans. Don't you worry. So I headed off to White Mountain from Phoenix. And on this road, along the path, all of these Brown-Eyed Susans. It was like September, I think, late August. I remember it was chili pepper season, which if you're from the Southwest, oh my God. Can we talk about roasted chili pepper in the air? That smell in Mexico, New Mexico, Arizona, small towns, when the locals have the chili roasters going. Oh my God, it's like the ultimate sense smell. It's the smell of my childhood. My dad and I used to sell chilies beside the road when I was like 6 and 7. He would do these impromptu chili sales. And so like I just grew up with green chilies a lot. And so I remember that smell was in the air. So whenever chili harvest is, that's when I was headed to White Mountain. And the road was just lined with Brown-Eyed Susans in full bloom. Like thousands of them, like for like miles of thick Brown-Eyed Susans on both sides of the road. So I had this really magical, welcoming experience heading into White Mountain. And so that was my first time there on that reservation. Flower. And so I'm going to not be wasteful. And so part of the Brown-Eyed Susans fertilizer is getting rid of the last of my rage. And then putting the top ramen. You don't think it'll hurt the flowers, do you? Nah, it'll be fine. Putting the last chunks of the top ramen in the bottom of my flowers as fertilizer. And then I've got my bowl of earth. I know you're not really seeing what's going on, but it's I'm filling a bowl with dirt, so you're not missing much. But yeah.
I had professors in college, like civil engineering professors, that hated when people called soil dirt. Like that's a thing.
Oh really? So it's not dirt; it's soil.
In engineering, like apparently, like hardcore engineers, civil engineers, like really are passionate about like geotechnical. They call it soil.
Oh, good to know. My hands are in the soil, not the dirt. So what's dirt then?
Dirt? Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's just dirt. It's like almost derogatory. I'm not defending it.
No. So intellectual engineer types. This is soil, not dirt. I can embrace that. If it makes people happy, sure.
They're mostly straight white males, so don't worry about stepping on too many toes.
Boop, boop, soil.
It's a thing you could be mad about.
Hi, Cayenne Pepper. If you're joining us late, you have to watch the beginning. The opening is really good. It'll be online later. And tell your friends we're also on YouTube now. Barely. I'm still learning things. Cayenne is helping me. He's kind of my media guru. God help him. I'm a remedial student. Before I forget, don't forget, my favorite charity is National Bail Fund Network. Look it up, Google it, support getting the protesters out of jail, and extra money will go toward their legal funds. So don't forget, National Bail Fund Network. specifically established to bring money where it's needed to support civil disobedience actions. So, check it out. If you got a little extra money, come to me, my brown-eyed Susan. Boop. Oh, I might have prepped this ahead of time. All the roots are growing through the bottom, and they're stuck. Oh, this poor girl, she's root bound. Home Depot, you could do better. This poor girl is root bound. I'm sorry, Susan. You need to breathe. Yeah. I was gonna plant two, but there's not really room in my pot. We'll wash her down later. I got her a little dirty, but you know, we'll give her a good bath in a bit.
Such a pretty contrast. The yellow with the blue.
So, let's see if we can show you what we did. Can you back it up a little, Kenny? Can you get it? Can you tilt it so they can see? Maybe if I do that. Keep going, keep going. Oh, look how pretty it is. Here, I got a hold of it.
I mean, it's on them.
Oh, okay. Okay, fine. Here, we'll do this. Arrgh! Look, it's magical. It's like a Grecian urn. It's a magical blue Grecian urn filled with brown-eyed Susans. Boop. So we can do our final ritual. I'm super into Sandman. There's a really great audiobook of Neil Gaiman's Sandman, and it's really good. It's done like old-fashioned radio episodes, like radio dramas. It's so good, and I love Neil Gaiman, and I love the way he reads, and I love the way he writes. But he reads the central character and narration, and then different people do the different parts. It's so good. And one of the things today that I thought was brilliantly presented was talking about dreaming and dreaming the world that you want. And so right now is a great time to dream sincerely and to imagine the kind of world you want and to put thought and focus into that. And that's what I would offer you. It's kind of simple, but I would encourage you, rather than doing what I did all this week, which was get fixated on how fucked on how fucked up we paused. I have no idea where I was at.
Not too long.
Oh, cool.
It was only like 10, 15 seconds.
Oh, okay. So apparently we lost 10 or 15 seconds. But, so yeah, I was just saying that now's a great time to dream, and now's a great time to take care of yourself and to get your hands in the dirt and feel the soil. We learned about soil today. And so I want to encourage you to touch the soil, and I want to encourage you to dream. And I want to encourage you to take care of yourself. That's what I'm trying to do, and maybe it'll work for you. So thanks for joining me. This has been Timothy White Eagle's Medicine Show. Woo, we have a name. We have a name. Cayenne Pepper. Cayenne Pepper helped me come up with that. Cayenne Pepper came up with that, let's be honest. But I agreed with it as the executive of the corporation. I said, yes, good job, Cayenne Pepper. That is an excellent name. I approve. So thank you all. Bye. Bye. Watch from the beginning. Tell your friends. Yay. Thank you, Paul. Remember, I have one seat. You can come and see Fireman Kenny in real life and see the exciting Trump Palace West. Room for one, maybe two. So if anybody wants to come watch, give me a call. Call me.